Do you all notice a different setup, a different scene today? It's because it is. This is not my apartment. Well, it's in my apartment temporarily. They said until the 11th, but now they're saying until the 18th because of a leak, apparently. So this is the current setup. So there's nothing on the walls, which is kind of depressing and sad. That's besides the point. Today is a fall reading vlog. And the first book that I'm reading in this video is Bewitched by Laura Thalassa. This is book 1. This will be spoiler free, so don't worry. But if I do ever say any spoilers, I will put it on the screen and let you know. What is happening? This book has a lot. There's a lot of sexual stuff in this book. There's too much. Like, what is happening? Just a quick little update. Also, it's October 3rd, so the Mean Girl sweater. But a little update, I am in the middle of chapter 25, and I'm very, like, on the verge of just setting it aside and picking up something else. Not because it's necessarily bad, but it's not good at the same time. Like, it's not that the writing is bad. It's the content of the writing that I'm not very... Like, it started out, oh, this is gonna have such a great plot and story, and, like, yeah, that's what, like, the mystery, the murder, the mystery aspect and stuff. But a lot of it seems to just be spicy stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with spicy scenes, but it's a little too much and frequent. And I just, once again, I don't know if I have said this actually, but I feel no romantic chemistry, no tension, nothing between Celine and Manon. I don't know how to word this, but it's giving, oh, all that this book cares about is the sexual aspect. And I don't know if it's gonna lessen as we get further in, but being 25 chapters in and having this much spiciness already is concerning. I'm in the middle of chapter 25, but the start of chapter 25 is 226. Just in case you're wondering. I really wanted to, like, really enjoy this and want it to be, like, a really great read. Because, one, I've read her other series, her 4 Horsemen books, and I thoroughly enjoyed those. And then, like, and this one, it's obviously a different premise and everything, but those ones I enjoyed significantly more. And, like, I'm only bringing those up because it's by the same author, okay, and came out before this one. I'm hoping it will get better as I go through. I'm scared that it won't. I'm scared that it will only just get like, not like worse. Like, obviously some people probably enjoy this book. I don't know. I haven't looked at the ratings, like the average rating for this book, but also because I go into books so blind. Okay, well, this looks like it has high rate. It has a good amount of 4 stars, but I just hope that it gets better and less with the, you know, like her spicy dreams and stuff. But also, I feel no chemistry between the 2 characters at all. But I also just don't feel connected to any of the characters. And I'm gonna be honest, Sybil sounds like a middle schooler. Okay, the way, I don't know, it's just the way she talks. Okay, well, I'm taking the hair down for this clip. I need to wash my hair, but I wanted to film this clip. I have a little update for Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I do not have the dust jacket on it because I don't read my hardcovers with dust jackets. But also, I just need to but show you the front cover of this naked cover. The typewriter and then Dear Iris. What I have to say about the book, obviously not spoiler thoughts, is that I'm on, okay, let me just check. I'm at the start of chapter 4. Now I'm on the second page of chapter 4 because I read a little bit when I was waiting for my food. And wow, the thing that I just found out during this, and like, oh my goodness. And I love this, the title of the first part of this book, you know, like how the, like part 1, part 2. It's called Letters Through the Wardrobe, and I love that. I love that so much. Not just because it reminds me of Chronicles of Narnia and the whole stepping through the wardrobe. And there's a reason why the first part is called that, but I don't want to say. But it follows our main character, Iris Winnow. And she works at the Gazette. It's a newspaper place. Working at the Gazette, well, she and Roman, which that's not a spoiler, he's one of the characters, clearly has POV in this book, so he's one of the main characters. He also is there, like he got there a month before, and they're both wanting to be a columnist. So that's kind of where the rivalry begins. Right off the bat, even though I'm not that far along yet, only page 37, I am really enjoying it already. And I'm so happy about that. And it's fantasy, it's romance, and I think it's a little historically. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I'm so happy about that because with Bewitched, let's just say that my reading of the first book you see in this video didn't go too well. I finished it, but didn't really vibe with it. But this one, I'm so glad I'm vibing with it. And I'm quite literally picturing a movie or a show in my head. And I'm all for it. I love when books are able to like encapsulate me that much to where I'm picturing it in movie or TV show form. And not everyone is able to do that regardless of the book, which is so sad. I'm so happy that I'm able to like picture it in my head because it makes it even so much better and even more immersive. And but it also depends on the book. Like the ACOTAR series, that's not that. ACOTAR's up here. This is Throne of Glass. But this one also I was able to picture. But with the ACOTAR series, I was picturing those movies, those scenes, the settings in my head so vividly. I'm so glad that Divine Rivals is making me feel that way. Like it's such a magical moment when I'm able to picture it in my head, but also have a really good time. Really good time. I'm having a really good time so far. Officially in part 2. Okay, I'm going to read along with the audiobook right now because just so I don't miss any words with my eyes and all that. But I'm going to read along with the audiobook just because, well, one, I want to get to my goal, but I also really just want to finish this book because I'm really into it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna be honest, I can't remember what I updated last. I know I did a reading clip, but I don't know talking to clip I did last. I assume I talked about the headache and the getting sick and the wrench being thrown in my schedule. I have a little update for Divine Rivals and also my cheeks probably red because I've been laying down trying to nap, but the napping has not been happening. So anyway, I'm at the start of chapter 37. And I'm having a blast. And I did go ahead and pick up the second book, Ruthless Vows. I picked this up when I got a case of Gatorade and Cheez-Its. It's got the typewriter with Dear Roman on the typewriter page. And the first one has Dear Iris on it, and it's so cute. Finished Divine Rivals last night. And oh my gosh, I love this book. I love. You wanna know the rating? You wanna know the rating? 5 stars, baby. 5-star read. Woo! This book was amazing. I had a blast. Would I have been finished with it, like, could I have finished it Monday? Yeah, I could have. If I didn't basically get sick while I got a really bad headache and probably migraine and not just a normal headache. But anyway, 5-star, and this book is a perfect example of romance that you can love. Well, like, there's this whole thing, like, it's mainly on TikTok, but with people being like, but does it have spice? You know, it's like a romance book, but does it have spice? Oh, if it doesn't have spice, I don't want to read it. It's not going to be good. Literally, like, a book that has romance can be good without spice. Like, and this book is a prime example of that. This does not have, like, this didn't have any spice scenes in it. Borderline PG-13 moment. Like a PG-13 moment, but it wasn't full on, like, it wasn't graphic, it wasn't detailed. It was basically fade to black. A romance book. Well, this is like a romantasy / historical fantasy. It's like historic. It's got historical stuff. It's like a historical fantasy romance. A historical romantasy, if you will. And this I can totally see this being a movie or a TV show. Like, I see the potential for that. And now, what do I read next? I don't want to read it too long, but, and you'll know what book is next because of the next few clips. Alright, my last clip was in the morning, so I don't know exactly what I said. I think I said you'll find out what book I'm reading next in the next few clips or so. I'll probably cut that out though. But no, I did finish Divine Rivals, 5-star, loved it. I need the movie, TV show ASAP, but I did pick up Ruthless Vows. So when I'm ready to dive back into, I mean, I'm already ready, but at the same time I'm not ready because Divine Rivals quite literally finished me. I didn't finish it. I did go to Barnes & Noble today and Target. I went to get the Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore because it's book 1 of this series, but they can technically be read as standalones apparently. But I don't want to be spoiled for like the first book's couple. But Barnes & Noble didn't have it, and then I went to Target. They also didn't have it, but I did pick up a book. They're both purpley covers, and they both involve witches, I believe. Well, I know this one involves like witches. This one involves just magic in general. But I picked them up because they both kind of, they reminded me of like Charmed a little bit. Which brings us to this book. The Crescent Moon Tear Room by Stacy Savinsky. I don't really know what it's about. I go into most books blind, or I have a general idea like the genre and all that. But I saw this like quote thingy from Lana Harper, who's the author of The Witches of Thistle Groves, that series. It says, the Quinley sisters, what's more magical than witchy triplets, and their lovely, cozy stories will steal your heart. So there's Anne, Beatrix, and Violet Quinley. Those are the 3 sisters, and like, if you've seen Charmed, either one, there's the 3 sisters, and they are the charmed ones. So this just reminded me, like the 3 sisters, that reminded me of Charmed, and I was like, oh. But then there's also like this iconic looking house. But also I want to pick up some books that I haven't seen been talked about. And then also this one. The cover really reminded me of Charmed with the Hollywell Manor. And it's The Only Purple House in Town by Anne Aguirre. I don't know if that's how you say it, but it has the cozy, and there's literally a bat on the cover. Like cozy vibes. It's a magical house, I believe. And guess what our main character's name is in this? Iris. I mean, this one's more of like a dark purple, and this is light purple. But I thought they were just nice. And I got double stamps today for being having like a rewards. I don't have the premium. And then the book I got at Target because I've been thinking about it. I've been wanting to actually pick up the physical copy for a while. So I finally did. And it is Night Shift by Annie Crown. Our girl works in the library, and the dude is the basketball team's captain. Something like that. So like I kinda wanna pick one of these. Like look, oh my gosh, and they're all like the same size. I love that. Whoa, these pages are like off-white. Do you see that? They're not as bright. I'm going to attempt to read outside. It is 77 degrees, but the sun. I'm at the start of chapter 6. Okay, I switched over here to the side of the house where it's more shady for one, but I'm sitting on the ground to talk to you about one thing that I have to comment on. This is just a general thing, it's not even this book, but because it's mentioned in this book, I have to talk about it. The air that made the flesh on her arms pebble ever so slightly. Can we stop saying the flesh pebbled, or like her flesh pebbled from the cold or something? Stop saying that. So much worse than just saying goose flesh. I mean, I prefer to say goosebumps. Just say goosebumps. Stop. I mean, I know there needs to be variety in that, but I'd rather, if you're not gonna say goosebumps, say like goose flesh. Stop saying the skin, the flesh of her, his, whatever character, gender, pebbled. Your skin cannot pebble. Your arm, skin, doesn't pebble. It gets goosebumps or goose flesh. And I don't like the word goose flesh either, but it's better than pebbles. That's just a me thing. That's not like, that doesn't make or break the book, obviously. A book for me. But if I see orbs, like, to describe the eyes, that makes or breaks a book, because that's so annoying. The twist that I just learned. Got to chapter 33 this morning. Frivolous fantasy. Ooh. Night 6 on Phantasma. I haven't really been doing any reading clips for this because, well, I've been marking my page count as a certain thing each day, but I haven't been hitting that goal. But I also just have not been filming me reading it for some reason. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I am enjoying it even more now since it's picked up speed. Since we're now into like the actual games part of the book. Like in the beginning I was like intrigued, but I was like, okay, I need it to pick up speed. Like I knew it would pick up speed, but I needed it like pronto. And once it picked up speed, I was like, yes. a new spice rating on Fable. Oh my god. Alright, Phantasma is officially finished. Alright, I'm going to wrap this video up now. I'm not going in depth, but quick thoughts, feels, and ratings. Even though I know I told you the rating of the second book right away, but I couldn't help it. I was excited. Anyway, so we have Bewitched by Laura Thalassa, and I rated it at 2 stars because it just wasn't for me. Wasn't vibing. And I just thought the concept for this book was really cool, but I just don't think it was executed well. And then we have Divine Rivals, the second book in this video. A 5-star. Oh my god. Love, love, love. 5-star. Need I say more? 5 stars. Thank you. Read it. That's all I have to say. Anyway, and then Phantasma. Okay. The last book, and I don't know if I said it, but the reason I picked this book up, immediately added it to my cart because I saw someone say on TikTok that it was inspired by Dating Phantom in some aspects, which definitely true, because Phantasma, Phantom. And I'm so glad I did, because what a ride. Especially once it got to like the actual like games part, like the games of it, and obviously the romance. There is spice in this book. It is a dark fantasy romance, which I feel like the cover kind of shows that, but in case you weren't aware, I'm giving it a 4.5 star, though who knows, it might change to a higher rating. It just depends, but for now, either way, 4.5. It's really good. It's really good. At least on my scale, my rating scale. I'm just so glad that I got to end this video with two good books, 2 bangers. Not that this one was a bad book. It just wasn't for me. These 2, very for me. Alright. I have also, this isn't a spoiler, but there was a cat in this book, like a ghost cat, and the name is Poe, and it's so funny. That is so funny. But the 3 times I had to read her skin pebbled, her flesh pebbled, like I think it was 3 total times in this book, I wanted to scream. But like I said, that doesn't make or break a book for me. It just annoys the crap out of me. But I need the next book like pronto. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Have you read any of these 3 books? And if so, let me know your thoughts on them below. Respectfully, your respectful thoughts. Keep it respectful. Sometimes when people talk about how they don't like a book, some people get really mad because they really like that book. I'm just like people have different reading tastes. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. And if you're new here, if you want it, and you want to see more book content and some eventual writing content, there's a subscribe button down below with the little bell. That's there too. And don't be scared to comment.